I can see the stars align, dance around the moon every night, and now my eyes are open wide, and the sky has never looked so bright. And I don't need to see the road to believe, yeah. 'Cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, it's all around us. And I feel the magic, it's all around us. There's wonder on this winding road in front of me, yeah. It's all right where I'm supposed to be. And I feel the magic everywhere. It's all around us, it's in the air. And I see the magic we can share. So much wonder everywhere. And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, can you imagine? And I feel the magic, it's all around us.
Hey everyone, how you going? I'm back and I've got my own face back. I'm really happy to see my own face. Well, as far as I know, it's my own face. It's the one that I'm used to. It's good to be here tonight. Thank you all very much. And yeah, I am Tanya, definitely 100% on last week. I've had the stitches out. So now I've got these beautiful silver bits coming through. I call me a silverback, silver front. Oh, thank you, Joe. I feel like me. What's that like? Well, I don't know. Sometimes you wouldn't want to be in this head. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Kim Jane, Joe, Kelly, Ash. So good to be here with you and feeling like myself again. So a little, feeling a whole lot better than last week, Lisa. Although I'll try not to run out of fuel, ethanol. I think that's what I'm. Thanks, Karen. Thank you, Tanya. I think that's what I'm running on. Bit of ethanol. I still get like somebody's got a little ice pick in my head and they're stabbing it with me, but that's nothing compared to where I've been. So it's just so good to be here. And yeah, Joe, I extended the intro to hear that whole song because the words are, oh, thanks, Lisa. The words are so very relevant and, you know, they're important. So, and it's got a really cool beat. So I'm glad that you like it again. Yes, I do look like me again. Yay for that. Well, it's the me that I'm used to. So that in itself leads us to some interesting things, doesn't it? The you that you're used to. And as you see on the screen, we have the Healing and Forgiveness workshop this Saturday, and I am really excited about it. I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to look at frequency and vibration, how that affects your ability to heal. What does it mean? How do you shift it? How do you become aware of it? We're going to look at your alignment, where are you aligned to, and we're going to do body mapping. This is no sit back and listen workshop, right? By Saturday, I should be roaring on all 12 cylinders, not 9.5. So it's an experiential workshop. And well, you know, Tanya, I was actually thinking something about that for people working. Maybe, Karen, who knows? Who knows what comes up, you know? I am planning for next year now. See, I knew that I was still going to be here next year. So they can't get rid of me that easily. It's just packed, and the workbook is going to keep everyone busy. So it's got a lot in it that I really can't wait to share. But something that that I want to address with you tonight is, have you all heard the term that this world, this life, is an illusion? It sure didn't feel like an illusion last week. Didn't feel like an illusion when I came off a motorbike going around a corner when I was 16 either, and ended up being back. Oh, Kelly, you were saying that the Saturday really suited you better. Never mind. No, I won't be recording it, love. So I did think about recording it for people who registered to attend, so that they could watch it when they're finished. But what's the point of that? There's not going to be able to have the interaction and the personal engagement. And that's what I'll be doing. I'll be actually looking at each person and finding out where you're at. So, well, yes, they can. I think I gave you the link for them to attend. It's not just for those in the Spirit Seekers Society. It is open to public. So, and yes, there is a difference in the ticket price, because those in the society are already paying, what would you call it, a membership to be in there. So one of the privileges of being in there is that you get less, you pay less for any events that I hold. So there you go. Thank you, Kim. You can't. I just can't please all the people all the time, right, everyone? So whoever turns up, I guess that's who is meant to be there and will really take away all of the goodies. But anyway, here we go with tonight. Thank you for letting me know, though. I appreciate it. So the word illusion is used about this life. And of course, you know, everybody says, how can it be an illusion? And as I said, when I came off a motorbike when I was 16 and ended up back in hospital where I'd just been for my interview to start training to be a nurse, it didn't feel like an illusion to me. So when people say, how can it be an illusion? You know, I can't put my hand through the wall. I feel everything. I understand that, and it makes perfect sense. But that's the thing about this world. It has to be dense. I won't be cheeky. It has to be dense so that we have this lived experience in the human form. However, everything about it is illusionary. And when I was going to throw out, before this little incident, I was cleaning out some of my books, my library of books that I've accumulated over, 40 years or something. And one of them really jumped out at me, like, don't throw me, don't throw me. And it's called Many Lives, Many Masters. And it's written by a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, but a psychiatrist by the name of Dr. Brian Weiss. He's American, of course, because so much seems to come out of America, right? And I wanted to know why this book wanted to speak to me. What did it want to show me? And it is really, really interesting because, as you know, those of you who have been with me for some time, I reference the medical system in a different way to what I would have when I was nursing, and the way that it has become a money-making corporation compared to when I was nursing, and the skills of the surgeons. And I'm not saying surgeons aren't skilled these days. It is very different. And then, with this increase in superior technology, people are excited about having a robot do surgery on them. I know that, good evening, Jackie, welcome. I know that the non-GMO'd human being would understand that there should not be an excitement about that and about having a robot come to your bedside, either in hospital or at home. So reading the introduction to this man's book was really, really awesome. And I want to read you some of what he says. He references a particular patient of his who did work in the same university where he was a lecturer, a professor in psychiatry. And one of the other peers had told her she needed to see Dr. Weiss. It took her a long time to come to him, and he spent 18 months with her. Now, what fascinates me first about that is when people want to learn how to heal, how to be rid of old habits, how to connect with their soul, they want that in 5 minutes. Hello, Natasha. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. I'm on 9.5 cylinders tonight. Should be on 12 by Saturday. So he was an associate professor. And what I was saying is when people want to do soul work or healing, they think they can read a book, tick the boxes, and it's all good. Or if they want to do ascension, and they expect that to be something that can happen, tomorrow. Don't get it. Don't get it. So this man, this psychiatrist, writes about working with this client named Catherine for 18 months. And he was working with her because of a tremendous increase in nightmares and anxiety about death and some other things that came up. So he actually says that he used conventional methods of therapy to help her overcome her symptoms. When nothing worked, he tried hypnosis. Nothing worked over 18 months. And yet people think that they can heal and connect to their soul overnight. Amazing. So he found the hypnosis in a series of trance states that Catherine was recalling past life events and past life memories. She was also able to act as a conduit for information from highly evolved spirit entities. And and through them, she revealed many of the secrets of life and death. He says, I do not have a scientific explanation for what happened. There is far too much about the human mind that is beyond our comprehension. Hallelujah to that sentence. There is so much more to what we are led to believe and what you've taken on over the years of your life that you believe that is an illusion. It is so far from the truth, it's not funny. So I was just about jumping out of my skin reading this book. I was so excited. I actually want to try and connect with this man and talk to him. He is somewhere around 80 years of age now and is still still with us in this world. Probably easier for me to connect with him if he was in the next world. So, you know, he doesn't have a scientific explanation. And he goes on to say that Catherine was able to focus in on the part of her subconscious mind that stored actual past life memories. Now, I work with people in past lives. I work with what is hindering them from past life in this life. And this is where he goes with Catherine and finds out why all this severe anxiety and nightmares is happening and where it's coming from. And it's awesome. So he talks about perhaps she had tapped into what the psychoanalyst Carl Jung termed the collective unconscious, the energy source that surrounds us and contains the memories of the entire human race. Do you need to think about that for a moment? And I love his next bit. I tell you, I was doing backflips, not last week. Backflips with this. He says scientists are beginning to seek answers. Well, not anymore, they're not. No, they're not. They are busy making a lot of money is what they're doing. They are not seeking these answers. You know why? Because they jolly well know the answer. And many of them, as a result of people like Dr. Weiss, know full well that when a human being comes into alignment with their soul and understands the power of their soul, that they are not limited to this illusion, that they are a power to be reckoned with. And these people do not want that. The word control comes to mind, but I'll leave that for another day. He says we as a society have much to gain from research into the mysteries of the mind, the soul, the continuation of life after death, and the influence of our past life experience on our present behavior. Oh my gosh, that was music to my ears. I just love it. He says, obviously, the ramifications are limitless, particularly in the fields of medicine, psychiatry, theology, and philosophy. However, here comes the good bit. Scientifically rigorous research in this area is in its infancy. And no, it's not. It's far from in its infancy. It's in its infancy for as much as they want the average Joe Smith to know. Throughout history, humankind has been resistant to change and to the acceptance of new ideas. Historical lore is replete with examples. When Galileo discovered the moons of Jupiter, the astronomers of that time refused to accept or even to look at these satellites because the existence of these moons conflicted with their accepted beliefs. Now, you hear me talk about beliefs all the time, your beliefs, how you have been constructed to have certain beliefs, and then how you've brought your own beliefs in through your perspectives and your perception. How exciting is this to see a psychiatrist writing about this stuff? It's a wonder the book was allowed to even stay in publication, because it goes on more about it. And if you want to know when it was first published, it was first published in 1988. Now, he's not the first one to find these fantastic things about the limitlessness, the connection to past lives, the actual reality of past lives, and how they can hinder this life. The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, you're all familiar with, and that's right, Jackie, slave labor. It's extremely refreshing, Tanya. Yeah, sure did. Scientists have their own narrative. That is spot on. And here's another thing a lady told me just recently, beautician told me that one of her clients is a naturopath, and she said to my beautician, there is no God, there's no such thing as God, there is only science, and you must follow the science. Fortunately, my beautician is a Roman Catholic, so she believes in God. Now, here's another interesting thing. Did you know that in the early Bibles, in the New and the Old Testament, there is actually references to reincarnation? Kid you not. It's written about in Mr. Weese's book here. In AD, now we've always been led to believe AD means after death. It actually doesn't mean that. It is about the years of Christ's life. It's not about after his death. But here's something really interesting. When he was going through these past lives with his client Catherine, she was first talking about 1675, and then she talked about 18 something, different years of her past lives, and she was able to recount everything down to a T. Then all of a sudden, she goes to the year 525 AD. Did you get that? How do we go from 1675, 1625 to 525, 535? What happened there? Well, references to reincarnation in AD, during Christ's lifetime, Roman Emperor Constantine the Great and his mother Helena deleted the references in the Bible to reincarnation. The Second Council of Constantinople meeting in AD 553 confirmed this action and declared that it must be that way, for they didn't want people to move away from the church and to know their own power. My gosh, how amazing is that? Let me see. I had the notes here for you to talk about that, but also about his work with this lovely lady, Catherine. So the council, the concept of reincarnation as heresy, of course they did. We are talking the church. Apparently they thought this concept would weaken the growing power of the church by giving humans too much time to seek their salvation. The original references had been there. The early church fathers had accepted the concept of reincarnation. The early Gnostics, Clement of Alexandria, Origen, St. Jerome, and many others believed that they had lived before and would again. Now, Dr. Weiss goes on to say, I, however, had never believed in reincarnation. Actually, I had never really spent much time thinking about it. Although my earlier religious training taught about some kind of vague existence of the soul after death, I was not convinced about this concept. How easily led are you? Do you question anything? Do you question everything? Very possibly not, because everything is laid out for you in this illusion deliberately to keep you distracted from the truth of your soul and, most importantly, the power of your soul. So, as I said in the Healing and Forgiveness workshop, we're going to be looking at where you are aligned or not with your soul. I have met so many psychics, clairvoyants, healers, psychoanalysts, psychotherapists, who all claim to be, so aligned with their soul and know their soul. You can see very easily that they are far from it. It's just empty words. It sounds good. So in my, have you really, Jackie? Fancy that. So it did not want me to throw it out, and I haven't finished it because obviously I haven't done a whole lot of reading in the last 12 days or whatever it is. So in my asking the divine, and that's the other thing we'll be going into in the Healing and Forgiveness workshop, is your divinity and how to be in your divinity. So when I was asking about the incident, talking to the divine, I have a gold telephone, I just go direct. Never mind this, be on hold and wait and talk to some minion. Go straight direct. So when I asked about being protected, because I have been told always that I would always be protected, and this time when I said, how do you call this, the mess that occurred, protected? Because the first time when I said, how do you call this being protected, not this incident, but another one, I didn't get an answer. I just had it repeated. You will always be protected. So this time when I asked, with all these sutures and everything else that went with it, how do you call this protecting me? The answer was nothing short of astounding. And it was, the physical body is of little consequence to us and is not important to us. It is the essence of you that will be forever protected. Did you hear that? The physical body is of little consequence or importance to us. It is the essence of you. As far as they're concerned, this vehicle can be healed, so it doesn't matter. But your soul, the essence of you, matters, and matters tremendously. So in this illusionary world, it is an illusion because you believe things because of what you have been removed from seeing and removed from knowing through the deliberate distractions. But as you can see from just those snippets in the book, your past lives will just about haunt you. Your past lives and occurrences come back. The other thing that Catherine talks about is people in her present life being in her past lives. And you will have met people where you think, I know you from somewhere, or you just look in their eyes and you just know that there is something really special about that connection. And it's because you are of the same soul family. You are most likely from the same place in the universe or the galaxy, or you have actually been together in a past life. Isn't it just awesome? The book Only Love Is Real is brilliant. Did he write that too, Kelly? He does a lot about love, and it's funny that these people who have these huge awakenings find that love really is the key. And after all, the only thing that the soul knows is pure joy and unconditional love. It doesn't know anything else. It's only this world that brings the junk. So I'm just going to catch up on your thank you, Jackie. Me too. I'm very excited about it. Kim Jane, everything is present. Well, everything should be present. Fascinating revelation about reincarnation. Yeah, how wonderful to hear. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Oh, cool, Kelly. Yeah, so you've met him before. Yes, you wrote it. Yeah. Yeah. It's just so good to see a psychiatrist actually go away from and recognize the construct that, that has been put around him deliberately. And then when you look at people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he talks about his healing journey when he had a tremendous accident, and there's no such thing as an accident, but anyway, he talks about his healing path and the power of the brain, and of course that's what he teaches a lot of. I myself prefer the whole picture, and that's why I address the whole picture, because it's not that that's tremendous. Who I feel before, yeah. What Kelly says here is so true. So true. And there's one of my favorite words she's used there, perception. How easy is it to not fear death? I can hear you. Mandy, hello, darling. Mandy, you'll have to go back and listen to the beginning. You've missed out on some really juicy stuff. So how easy is it for you to not fear death? How easy is it for you to leave, to think that you're going to leave everyone behind that you love? Or if they go before you, they've left you behind. If you remember my beautiful nephew, Jack, one of the reasons that he hid from me so that he wanted me to think that he was gone was because he said he got scared and thought if he actually went, no one would remember him. So even in death, there are perceptions and there is fear for so many people. I have gone to, as many of you know, been called to different people in hospital to assist them with passing over or helping them understand how to leave their physical body. And this is all because of the illusion of this world. It's a very clever construct, isn't it? Would you agree? So learning to really be soul aligned and learning how to be in your divinity, that's what you should make this life about, not about the construct that's been put around you. Now, there are reasons for a lot of the things that you experience because you signed an agreement, believe it or not, for certain things for you to experience in this life. So obviously you need to have those situations come up so you can experience them. But it's what you do with those experiences that matters most. So I mentioned Dr. Joe Dispenza, and his focus is on changing your way of thinking, changing your thoughts, and you change everything. When I had the stitches out last Thursday, the doctor is still excited. Seems that I really broke their mundane, everyday stuff with my little bit of commotion. And he said to the nurse, which was a different one, did you hear what happened? Do you know what happened with Gwenda? Yada, yada. And she said, oh, just a little bit of it. And he proceeded to tell her about the state of me and the amount of blood when I came in. And he was all very excited, thinking, gee, things must be dull in the surgery. Looking at the people in there, I'd say it probably is. So he was explaining to her about that. And then when I went in to see him after having the sutures removed, he asked how I was. And I said what I was experiencing. And his comment back to me was, well, you've got broken wires in your head, Gwenda, and they need time to heal. Broken wires. Okay, so Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about the synapses and the neural pathways and the electrical circuitry that runs around in the brain with your thoughts and things. And I've raised this before about where do you believe your thoughts originate from and where do you believe your mind is. So what I've found through this experience is the brain requires a tremendous amount of energy for you to be able to think. During this recent time of healing, and I can feel it now, it's like I'm running out of ethanol. I noticed that when I wanted to put my mind to work, because, I can't sit around and do nothing. So I tried to do some work and, oh my gosh, it just caused me so much pain. So I like to observe my body. I like to observe what's going on, because this physical body is only, well, I shouldn't say it like that, but it is the home of the soul. So I want to know how that union occurs and what brings about amazing changes and amazing healing. So finding that the power that you need, and it is a power that you need for your brain to function just for thinking, is huge. I am still sleeping a lot, so I'll probably be going to bed very early tonight after this. And that is the brain's way of healing. I have been on my healing table. I have received the same beautiful divine light of healing that I would bring through for you if you were to be on the table. And I felt it, and I felt the work being done. It's been nothing short of amazing. But feeling into the body and observing what goes on with thinking has been really quite amazing. Jackie's saying life experiences live a roller coaster ride, slide into the coffin. That's me, yeah. So death will be easy. Now I'm just going to slide in sideways and go, whoa, what a ride that's been. So when we look at the different things, you're funny, Jackie, thank you. The different ways that the body functions and how the soul is actually the power source to your healing, and this is what I'll be going through on Saturday, then you can make dramatic changes to every aspect of your life. Your body doesn't do the healing. Your soul does the healing. But where you're at, your vibration, your frequency, your perspectives and your perceptions all shift that ability. Therefore, they shift where you are aligned or not. And when I reflected on the situation when I died on the operating table when I was 40, in that circumstance, I didn't have enough blood in my body to be able to wipe my mouth, to pick up a fork, to chew, to even suck on a straw, and to speak. That was an incredible experience, but now I can look back to that and really see that connection between the incredible, infinite, limitless power of the soul and its role. And when you tap into your soul and you live to the power of your soul, you have nothing short of miraculous life around you. Absolutely miraculous. Now, Thanks, Kim. Yeah, we are perfect the way we are. But in the case of healing and wanting to heal, so many people say they want to heal. So many people go in and put themselves through the rigors of chemo and radio and all sorts of medication, claiming they want to heal. And I guess that's really because of where they're at in this illusion and where they're at in their alignment, pretty much close to zero. So the whole thing that I bring to you here is for you to really begin to look at, observe, know yourself beyond the construct that you have been living and that you believe to be yourself. My question to the divine was, is the personality of a human being a reflection of the soul? And the answer was no. So if your personality, if the way you are projecting yourself and believe yourself to be is not a reflection of the soul, what is it? Pretty cool, hey? This stuff fires me up tremendously. It is my greatest passion, and it's what I'm dedicated to in bringing to others, because when you live to your soul, your life is incredibly different. Your ability to heal is incredibly different. You know, your soul is your life force. Your soul, Kim, is that what you're asking? So when you begin to have a look at yourself truly and start to unravel the personality, and you find out where that personality's come from, how it comes to be that you think the way you do, react the way you do, it's amazing. It's like going on a treasure hunt and becoming your own archaeologist. Personality is not a life force, definitely not. Personality is a lie. Personality is based on your needs and your wants to be loved, accepted, heard, valued, feel worthy. Your personality will be formed through your early life experiences and also through your experiences when you were in the womb. Now, some of your personality will come through from past lives. Fascinating stuff. Unraveling the not self in a big, big knot, Kelly, K-N-O-T, because it is a knot. So, you know, that experience that I had when I was 40 was rich in new awareness, rich in really driving my passion of teaching self-healing and tapping into the soul, the life force. But it's more than that. There needs to be an alignment with your soul, and an alignment that is not unwavering. It is not negotiable with the divine. You can't be just an alignment to yourself. It's a good place to start, but there needs to be that wholeness of your origin. If you're an alien and you or you're a crossbreed human, well, you know, there's a few other anomalies that go with that, right? Yes, that's exactly right, Kelly. Exactly right. It is fascinating, isn't it, Tanya? It's cool stuff. This is what I talk about all the time. When people have got lots of symptoms, when they've constantly got something wrong with them, they've constantly got something causing pain, or you know, I'm going to use a couple of classic examples: celiacs and lactose intolerant. No, you're just intolerant to your own self. You're intolerant to your life, and you have a severe gut imbalance. But what is that really about? What is it that's brought your gut to not be able to function properly? It's nothing to do with the wheat. It's nothing to do with the lactose. It is always to do with yourself. And when you go on that incredible journey, it's amazing. So when you have someone, and this is why when when I talk to healers that want to profess that they know how to self-heal, it's like, I don't know, then why have you got all this stuff going on? Yeah, that's right, Jackie. See, it's simple to see. And with Kelly's comment, there's so many people's bodies are expressing so many symptoms. And yeah, it's not just one, and because there is a ricochet effect. You have one particular ailment that comes into the body because of not being aligned. So it's like the spokes of a wheel. You have one spoke that comes out. Well, now the wheel's not going to function properly, and you're no different. But it's just so easy to go get tablets, doctor's visits, etc., etc. And that's the cop out. Now you've really bought into the illusion. So when I had the situation when I was 40, they wanted me to have a blood transfusion because, for those of you who know me, I'm very olive complexion. And my then employer came to the hospital to see me. Don't think he really believed it. And he actually walked into the ward and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, wrong person." And I couldn't answer him because I wasn't able to speak. That's what happens when you don't have enough blood in your body. Yeah, that's right, Kelly. So he was brought back by a nurse, and he just stood there absolutely dumbfounded looking at me and said, "Oh, that just doesn't look like you at all." Well, when the life force of you is no longer in this shell, it doesn't look anything like you, because your personality, whatever that be, is no longer there. So this is just a suit. But how you wear the suit really says where you are in the illusion, and where you are in your perspectives, beliefs, and perceptions. And this is the juicy stuff, right? So this is what I'm going to really delve into on Saturday. I feel like it should really be a half day because there's such a lot that I'd like to share. Even down to taking self-responsibility, as Kelly's written there. This is where the greater aspect of the illusioned mind steps up and says, yeah, Jackie probably should be. This is where the illusion mind steps up and creates havoc. So coming around to my initial point, when you begin to be the archaeologist of yourself, brutally honest, and you really look at the pains, the hurts, the disappointments, the way that you have responded to your life, and what you've done with those responses. Where are they in the body? And this is what the body mapping is. This is when you can begin to release those illusions. If you pick up an injury, or you pick up, let's say, a gastro bug or a virus, there is belief that none of it is infectious. The belief is that if you've been around someone that has got something, you're going to catch it. This would be a conversation for another day because it's another juicy one. Very juicy. Now Kelly's saying, I will be changing mine when I can. And did you know too that when you've had a head injury or had sutures, you can't go and have hair colour put on. They say you can't have the toxins go into the wound. That's funny. The skin's pretty porous. So where are those toxins going the other times? Take out the word won't, Tanya. And this is another part of the teachings in the Soul Mastery Collective, also the School of Wesh. And I will go through a little bit of it on Saturday. The words we use affect our vibration and therefore our frequency. Words like won't, don't, can't, aren't actually understood by the soul, and they're not understood by angels, and they rub them out. So what do you get? Exactly what you said you didn't want. What's Kelly saying? It's always intriguing for me to watch as people choose to change their hair colour or paint their nails to change their suit and therefore feel better, but then wonder why it is short-lived. Yeah. And as you said, they might change their diet for a month and then give it up. That's right. And that all comes back. That all comes back to where they are in themselves, and they're definitely not aligned. I like my red locks, not carrot red, you know, that I like the deep red, rich red colour. It's my preference, my look, and I'm not prepared to go silver yet. So that's what that's about. Yeah, very good. Tanya picked up quickly, but the fact is the power of our words, the power of our thoughts is huge, and they are answered quickly. So I hope that has been interesting, stimulating, and inspiring for you this evening and given you some food for thought. Food affects your vibration and your frequency too. Something else that we'll talk about. Oh yeah, it would be Kim, because it hasn't got the peroxide in it, I guess. How even better still, Tanya, you claim it. I am. In fact, when thanks, Karen. When I was walking and my last awareness, my last memory of that day, I was actually saying my morning prayer, and in my morning prayer I give thanks for having a powerful, strong mind, body and soul, and I go on to actually break each of those down and give it a more oomph for each thing, and that's the last thing I remember on that day. So quite interesting, isn't it? Thanks, Kelly. Glad you really enjoyed it. And I'm rapt that that you've read Dr. Brian Weiss's books. It's fascinating. There are a couple of things that make me question everything about some of the things he's got in there, but that's okay. It's all good. It's all good. So it's really great to be with you tonight, almost on all 12 cylinders, and a joy to have you and have your interaction. Oh, Shannon, hey, how you doing? Welcome. I didn't see you sneak in there, young lady. Hope you enjoyed it if you've been here for the whole time. And yes, that's just the start of it, Kim. That's just the start of my personal morning prayer. So Oh, the germ theory. Yeah, that gets people going, doesn't it, Kelly? So all very interesting. And much love to every one of you. I really appreciate you. I love you being here, and I'm looking forward to being back next week. But I'm looking forward to the workshop. And just remember that when you are a member of the Spirit Seeker Society, you get big bonuses for when I hold workshops or events. It's well worth it, along with everything else that is in the society for you to truly live a soul-aligned life. And it's been wonderful. Oh, awesome, Shannon. Shannon's first evening with us, so thank you very much. And what else can I tell you? Just love you. And Kelly, I just want to say, Kelly sent me an amazing message that nearly made me cry last week after me coming in last week. And so, Kelly, thank you. My love to you very much. It was beautiful. We'll see you all again soon. Great, Shannon. Me too.